Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's time to know about the 7 types of the pronouns. The contents are there. In this video, we will talk about the objectives of the video. Why do I make this video? Firstly, we'll talk about this. Then later on, we will talk about the what and why of the pronouns. Why do we use pronouns and what are we using pronouns for? What are pronouns and why do we use pronouns? The third number, we'll talk about the personal pronouns, which refers to person, he, she, it. Along with that, there will be the 4 cases of the subjective pronoun, the objective pronoun, the possessive pronoun, possessive and adjective. On the 4th number, there will be reflexive pronoun, pronouns which refer back to the subject. Then emphatic pronoun on the 5th, and demonstrative pronouns which points to with gesture. Indefinite pronoun and interrogative pronoun, and the last one we will talk about the relative pronouns. Objectives to define pronoun in this video. The aim of this video is to define pronouns, to explain antecedent, what an antecedent is, to discuss different types of the pronouns, to let our viewers know why we use pronouns. After watching this video, you will learn the correct use of pronouns in sentences, and you will know the importance of pronouns in communication. The what and why of pronouns. What is a pronoun and why do we use pronoun? So firstly, we'll talk about the pronoun basic question which arises in everyone's mind, that what basically a pronoun is. So the word pronoun is derived from Latin word pronomen. A pro means on behalf of, yeah, for, and nomen means name. A pronoun is a word that replaces noun in a sentence. It's very clear from even with its pronunciation when you pronounce the word. So half it is clear to you. Pronoun, for noun. A word that is used for noun on behalf of a noun is called a pronoun. Now this is the question that why do we use pronoun in a sentence? Pronoun, why is a pronoun important in a sentence? So pronouns are used to avoid repeating the same nouns over and over again. For example, Ali ran so fast. You think his life was on the line. This is a sentence. You can see in this sentence, Ali ran so fast. You think his life was on the line. The pronoun his saved us from repeating the same name Ali again. If it were not the case, then we would say Ali ran so fast, you would think Ali's life was on the line. But instead of using Ali's life, we have used a pronoun, so we have saved ourselves from the repetition of the noun again. Common pronouns include I, me, mine, she, he, it, we, and us. In truth, there are many different types of the pronouns, each serving a different purpose. What is antecedent? For understanding the pronouns, you must understand the antecedent. Unless and until you know exactly what antecedent means, you can never learn the pronouns and you can never learn the purpose of the pronouns. The difference is there. A person who knows about the antecedent, he can use a sentence correctly with the use of the pronoun and the noun, while if you don't know about the antecedent, so you might be committing mistakes. So to remove those mistakes, let's learn about the antecedent. And antecedent is the noun. It's a noun that a pronoun refers to. When you are using a sentence, when in a sentence you use a noun and a pronoun, so when a pronoun refers back to a noun, so a noun is called antecedent. A noun is a word to which a pronoun refers. An antecedent is called that noun to which a pronoun refers. When a pronoun replaces a noun, just like the previous sentence, his replaces the nouns. So his was a pronoun and Ali was the antecedent of his. When a pronoun replaces a noun, the noun is called an antecedent. Pronoun and its antecedent must agree in number, gender, and kind. For example, a pronoun refers back to its antecedent. The candidate delivered his speech to the crowd. So candidate is antecedent and his is replacing the candidate. So now you can see that the candidate is a singular noun. So we have used the pronoun his for it. If you change the candidate to candidates, the candidates delivered their speech. So their and candidates, they agree in number, and his and candidate, they agree in number. So the pronoun must agree with its antecedent. If the antecedent is singular, the pronoun must be singular. If antecedent is feminine, then the pronoun must be used her, she, etc. If the antecedent is a thing, so then you must use a pronoun which suits best for it. What's the personal pronoun? Now, before proceeding to further explanation, we will firstly take a start from the very basics of the pronouns. In the very basic pronoun is the personal pronoun, which is used mostly, I think, more than any pronoun. Personal pronouns are types of pronouns that refer to the person speaking, the person spoken to, and the person, place, or thing spoken about. The speaker, the object of the sentence or the target of a sentence, what we are talking about, all those are called the person pronoun. When you are speaking to, you are speaking about, so all you are using the personal pronoun. Personal pronouns include he, she, it, his, her, them, theirs, their, hers, use, us, me, I, mine, my, he, its, etc. There are mainly 4 types of personal pronouns. There are 4 cases of the personal pronoun. While talking about the pronouns, we must know about the subjective pronoun, the objective pronoun, the possessive pronoun, and the possessive adjective case. So firstly, we'll talk about the subjective case of the personal pronoun. A personal pronoun that's used as the subject of a sentence is called subjective pronoun. It's very clear. When you pronounce a word, so half it's clear. Subjective pronoun. A pronoun that takes the place of the subject in a sentence, that replaces the subject in a sentence, is called a subjective pronoun. For example, you say Ali was driving. Ali is a subject in this sentence. Ali was driving. When you are replacing Ali with the pronoun he, you say he was driving. So he is called the subjective pronoun because he has replaced the subject in a sentence. The subjective pronoun replaces the subject of a sentence. For example, he, she, it, I, we, you, they. Mr. Ahmad visited Islamabad today. So Mr. Ahmad is replaced with he. He visited Islamabad today. So now the he is called the subjective pronoun. Students had a fruitful discussion on global warming. Now we are replacing students with the pronoun. We use they. They had a fruitful discussion of global warming. So they will be called subjective pronoun. Why do we call they a subjective pronoun? Because they has replaced the students, and students is the subject in this sentence. So pronoun that replaces a subject in a sentence is called subjective pronoun. Now personal pronoun number 2, objective case. What's the objective pronoun? Just like we are talking about a pronoun that replaces a subject in a sentence will be called subjective pronoun. Same is the case here. A pronoun that replaces the object in a sentence is called the objective pronoun. Objective pronoun acts as the object of a sentence. Personal pronoun, it's a type of personal pronoun that replaces the object of a sentence. For example, him, her, it, me, us, you, them. The government of Pakistan might help aged people. So now you can see in this sentence the people, aged people, are used as the object of this sentence. So if you are replacing the aged people with the pronoun, so you must use the objective pronoun. The government of Pakistan might help them. So them is the object in this sentence and aged people are the object in the upper sentence. So both of them are called the objects of the sentences. One is object noun and the other is objective pronoun. He is visiting Salim. Now if you replace Salim in this sentence, so Salim is the object in this sentence. So if you replace Salim, so the replacing pronoun will be called the objective pronoun. He is visiting him. Him is called the objective pronoun. Personal pronoun case number 3, possessive pronoun. Possessive pronoun is used to demonstrate ownership in a sentence. A pronoun that states whether something belongs to someone. It's talking about the property, it's talking about the ownership, so that pronoun is called the possessive pronoun. It's a personal pronoun which states that something belongs to someone. This is hers. For example, you say this is hers, this is his, it's mine, that's yours, or this is theirs, this is ours. So all these pronouns which states ownership, that something belongs to someone, that's called the possessive case. The shirt is mine. You're talking about the ownership of the shirt. You're talking about the property that belongs to you. The shirt is mine. So mine is used here in the possessive case. The bird is ours. We are the owners of the bird. That chair is yours. You are the owner of the chair. So talking about the ownership, so yours, ours, mine, theirs, its, hers, his, all these pronouns are called the possessive pronoun. Last case is there, a possessive adjective. A pronoun which is related to, which is just like the possessive pronoun, but which is used in a sentence as the adjective. Possessive adjective and possessive pronouns have the same purpose. Both are showing the ownership, both are showing the position. While we are talking about possessive pronouns, we are stating the ownership and using pronoun for the ownership. We are using a word in a sentence as a pronoun for the ownership. While we are talking about possessive adjectives, we are using the word that states the ownership in a sentence as the adjective. We are using this possessive as the adjective. So that's why this is called possessive adjective. Possessive pronoun and adjective both shows ownership. Both are the same nearly, but you have to note that possessive adjectives show ownership and they are used before nouns. And it is clear to us that adjective will always or usually be used before nouns. So a pronoun that's used after the noun and adjective is used before the noun, so then this makes a difference. While possessive pronouns stand alone. Possessive pronouns have no need of any nouns coming forth or after, later, etc. It has nothing to do with those. While possessive adjective must be used before a noun. For example, his, her, its, their, our, my, your. This is my pen. Now, in a possessive pronoun case, you will say this pen is mine. After all, at the end of a sentence, this pen is mine. In the possessive adjective case, you will use my before the pen. Before the noun, you will use the adjective. This is my pen. He has answered your phone call. They can visit our home. So, these are all the personal pronouns, the subjective case, the objective case, the possessive case, and the possessive adjective case. I will summarize a little bit that personal pronouns are talking about the person speaking, the person spoken to, the thing, the place spoken about, etc. So all these pronouns are called the personal pronouns. The simplest pronouns in all. Then the reflexive pronoun. What's the reflexive pronoun? A pronoun that refers back to the subject of a sentence is called reflexive pronoun. How? For example, reflexive pronouns are words ending in self or selves that are used when the subject and the object of a sentence are the same. For example, you say, I believed in myself. So myself here refers back to I. Myself means I. I believed in myself. So the self and the selves, those pronouns which are ending in self and selves are called reflexive pronoun, and those pronouns which refer back to the subject of a sentence. For example, we say Salim hurts himself. Salim hurts himself. So himself refers back to Salim. That Salim has done something and himself is affected with it. Reflexive pronouns are specifically, in simplest words, you can say that when a subject does the action and the subject itself is affected with that, so then those pronouns are called reflexive pronoun. Like just as you can see in this sentence, I believe in myself. I believe the action is done by I, and I is affected with it. Myself. I believe in myself. The 9 English reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, oneself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. Reflexive pronouns examples are there. Be careful not to cut yourself with that knife. Who will be affected with the action? Yourself. You on your own will be affected with your action. You will do the action and you will be affected with it. So this is called the reflexive pronoun. I sometimes talk to myself. Who talks? I. Who does I talk to? To itself. Myself. So I is doing the action and I itself is affected with it. So myself is called a reflexive pronoun. They had a nice day. They enjoyed themselves. Who enjoyed? They. And themselves. They enjoyed themselves. It returns back. The action returns back to the subject. We will clean the room ourselves. Who will clean the room? We. Ourselves. We on our own. Nobody else will do this for us. We ourselves will do the action. He takes good care of himself. Who takes good care? He. Whom he takes care of? Himself. He takes care of himself. He does the action and he is affected with the action himself. So this is called a reflexive pronoun that refers back to the subject of a sentence. Then what's emphatic or intensive pronoun? This might create a little bit confusion, the difference between the reflexive and the emphatic, but you should not be confused with it, because emphatic pronouns are called intensive pronouns. Pronouns that is you can say giving the degree, just like the adverb of degree which we are using, which is giving the strength to a sentence. Intensive pronoun gives strength to a sentence. Don't be confused between emphatic pronouns and reflexive pronouns. An emphatic pronoun emphasizes its antecedent. When reflexive pronouns are used for emphasis, they are called emphatic pronouns. Just like we have talked about, reflexive pronoun just refers back to the subject, while emphatic pronoun emphasizes that the action is done by dash dash dash. Just emphasizes. I did this on my own. Nobody else I sought out help from. I did this on my own. This emphasizes my action. So this is called the emphatic pronoun. Emphatic pronoun and reflexive pronoun are nearly very much the same, but just the purpose and the usage will be a little bit different. Reflexive will refer back to the subject, and emphatic will emphasizes the action of the subject. Emphatic pronoun is a personal pronoun. We use it explaining that the action is done by the noun without anyone's help. For example, emphatic pronoun is similar to reflexive pronoun. You can see here, myself, itself, herself, themselves, ourselves, etc. I myself did it. Now, you can see there is the difference between this one and reflexive pronoun. We say, I cut myself. There is a person who was cutting something and mistakenly he cut his finger. We say, oh, I hurt myself. So I hurt myself. In this, I and myself are linked with this. Just like I told you that I is doing the action and I is receiving the action on its own. So just referring back to the subject. The action refers back to the subject. But when you say I myself did it, it means you are stating that I was the only person who did this. I didn't seek out help from anyone. I did on my own. Nobody else did it for me. David will do it himself. David will take help of no one. David will do the action on his own. The dog itself caught the ball. The dog caught the ball without the help of anybody else. Itself it caught the ball. So in this sentence, the itself, himself and myself, it's telling you that the actor of this sentence is the subject itself. Nobody else has help it. What's the difference between reflexive and emphatic pronouns? Now it will be clear a little bit when you say I saw myself in the mirror. Myself is a reflexive pronoun reflecting the pronoun I. It just refers back to the subject. I saw somebody and I saw herself. Yeah, myself. There was somebody who was standing to the mirror. He was standing, he was doing the action, and he was receiving the action because he was looking at himself. So the doer and the receiver of the action are the same. So that's called the reflexive pronoun. I'll do it myself. I'll do it without the help of anybody else. I'll do it on my own. Myself is the intensive pronoun, intensifying the pronoun I. That I will be somebody who will be doing the action. What's demonstrative pronoun? Now, demonstrative pronoun is a pronoun that represents a noun and expresses its position as near or far, including in time. For example, you say something, this is something, that's something, these are some things, or those are something. So this, that, these and those, they are called demonstrative pronoun. With the use of this, that, these and those, you can clearly say, when you say this is a pen, it means that the pen is near to you, the pen is singular. Why? Because this means this must be used for the singular and for the near object. Things which are near to us and things which are singular. So this clarifies, by the use of this pronoun, you describe the subject, you describe the thing that it is singular and it is near. When you say that, it means that's a boy. With the use of that, you describe, you clarify that the subject or the object I'm talking about or the thing I'm talking about is not nearer to me, that's for, but that's singular. That's used for in singular. When you say these are books, these are books mean that books are many in number. They are not one, they are many in number and they are near to me. And those are stars, stars are high. They are far from us, but they are many. So this is called the demonstrative pronoun. This is an apple, that's an apple. This is an apple, mean the apple is nearer to me. This is singular and near to me. That's an apple, singular but far, not near. And these and those are used for the plural. These are apples mean they are many in number, they are plural too, and they are nearer to us. Those are apples, they are many in number, they are 2, 3, more than one, but they are far, they are not near to us. Then what's indefinite pronoun? Once again, indefinite pronoun, that's not definite, that's not sure, that's a pronoun which we are not sure about, something we are not exact about. The word indefinite means not exact, not clear, without clear limit. A type of pronoun that refers to a person, place or thing or an idea that are not specifically named. For example, you say somebody is knocking the door. Who is knocking the door? Somebody. Who is somebody? I don't know. It's not clear. It is not exact. It doesn't have any clear limitations. An indefinite pronoun does not refer to any specific person, thing or place. Just like you say, somebody is knocking the door. So by starting somebody, you are not clearly mentioning that body, that who he is. It's not clear and not definite. Like you say, everything is destroyed. So for example, what things are being destroyed? We don't have the clear limitation for it. We are not clear about it. That what were the things which were destroyed? I don't know. Did anyone ask about me? Anyone asked about me? Have you gone somewhere? Somewhere, anywhere, somebody, everything, anyone, no one, etc. These are called the indefinite pronoun. For examples, some indefinite pronouns are compound words of some, any, no, and every. Now, pay attention to the following chart. Use some for the place, for the thing, for the person. Use any for the place, for the people, for the thing. So you will have the 4 types of the pronouns with the some, with the any, with no, with every, etc. For example, you say some. So if you are using some with the people. So you say someone, somebody, some with the things, so something, some with the places, so somewhere. So with the use of some, you can have compound pronouns 3, 4. Some people, so someone, somebody, something, somewhere, anyone, anything, anywhere, no one, nothing, nowhere, everyone, everything, everywhere. So these are all the pronouns which are not stating something specifically. They are just giving you signal. They are not clarifying who, where, or what. What's interrogative pronoun? A pronoun that's used to ask question is called interrogative pronoun. Question sentence. There are 5 interrogative pronouns in English: what, which, who, whom, and whose. Once again, I would suggest you to not get confused, because there are some interrogative words which are not used, just like how, just like why, just like when, just like whenever. They are not used. They are asking. They too are used for questions, but they are not called interrogative pronoun. There are 2 types of the nouns. There are 2 types of interrogative words. One are called interrogative pronouns and the other are called interrogative adverbs. When we are talking about the adverbs, so we say when, we say why, we say how, we say whenever, we say whoever, however, etc., whoever not, however. When we are talking about interrogative pronouns, so we are talking about what, which, who, whom, and whose. What's your name? Which class do you read in? Who visited Naran? Whom did you call? All these pronouns are stating question in a sentence. So question words are called interrogative pronoun. Once again, I would say that for the question, there are 2 types of the interrogative words used: interrogative pronouns and interrogative adverbs. Interrogative adverbs are how, why, when, etc. Interrogative pronouns are what, which, who, whom, etc. What's a relative pronoun? A relative pronoun is one which is used to refer to noun mentioned previously, whether they are people, places, things, animals, or ideas. Relative pronouns can be used to join 2 sentences. When you join 2 sentences though by the pronoun, so a pronoun is then called a relative pronoun. There are only a few relative pronouns in English. The most common are which, that, whose, whoever, whomever, who, and whom. Just like with the usage of this, you will understand what a relative pronoun is. It's easy, it's not much difficult. How to use a relative pronoun in a sentence. For example, she is a woman, she sings sweetly. Now look at these 2 sentences. In the first sentence, it says, she is a woman, she sings sweetly. So now, with the use of relative pronoun, these 2 sentences are joined. We say she is the woman who sings sweetly. So in this sentence, who is called the relative pronoun. With the use of this who, you are joining 2 sentences. So who is called the relative pronoun. The other sentence, you saw the house, it's a historical landmark. There was a house you saw, and the house was a historical landmark. So by joining these 2 sentences, you can make the sentence structure like, the house that you saw is a historical landmark. That is used here. So in this sentence, that is stating that's joining 2 sentences and is called the relative pronoun. The house that you saw is a historical landmark. This is the house. I was born in this house. This is the house and I was born in this house. 2 separate sentences joining with the relative pronoun which. This is a house which I was born in. Thank you.